You should dress a little nicer. My brother said it casually, glancing at my plain outfit like it embarrassed him. I smiled. I'm fine, I replied. He shook his head, already annoyed. Just don't make things awkward tonight. Tonight. Dinner with his wife's parents. People I had never met. People who, according to him, valued status. My name is Lena Whitaker, and my brother had no idea who I really was. For the past 3 years, I had been the CEO of the company he worked for. Not a small role. Not a hidden position. The top. But I never told him. I preferred a simple life. Quiet. Unnoticed. And he preferred assumptions. We arrived at the restaurant 10 minutes early. Elegant. Expensive. The kind of place where people looked at you before deciding how to treat you. His in-laws were already seated. His mother-in-law's eyes scanned me from head to toe. Her smile tightened instantly. Oh, she said. That one word said everything. We sat down. Conversation started. Polite. Controlled. But I could feel it. The judgment. The quiet dismissal. Then, halfway through dinner, his father-in-law reached into his jacket and slid an envelope across the table. Toward me. Take this, he said calmly. My brother didn't look surprised. That's when I realized. This wasn't spontaneous. It was planned. The envelope stopped right in front of me. No one spoke. Not even my brother. I looked at him first. He avoided my eyes. That told me everything. What is this? I asked calmly. My brother's father-in-law leaned back slightly, folding his hands like this was a business transaction. Something to make things easier, he said. Easier. I glanced down at the envelope, but didn't touch it. For who? I asked. For you, his mother-in-law added quickly, her tone polite but sharp. We understand situations can be difficult. Situations. My brother finally cleared his throat. Lena, just take it, he said quietly. It'll help. Help. I slowly picked up the envelope and opened it. Inside was a check. A large one. Enough to make most people pause. I didn't react. Instead, I looked back at them. And what exactly am I being helped with? I asked. The father-in-law didn't hesitate. With stepping away, he said. Silence hit the table. From what? I asked. My brother shifted uncomfortably. Then his mother-in-law answered. From my daughter's life. There it was. Clear. Clean. Transactional. They weren't offering help. They were offering payment. To remove me. And judging by my brother's silence, he had already agreed. I let the check rest between my fingers. The number didn't matter. The intention did. You want me gone, I said calmly. My brother's father-in-law nodded once. Yes. No hesitation. No apology. Across the table, my brother shifted in his seat. Lena, it's not like that, he muttered. I looked at him. Then what is it like? He didn't answer. Because there wasn't another version of this. His mother-in-law leaned forward slightly. We believe in appropriate circles, she said. Our daughter has a certain lifestyle. Lifestyle. I almost smiled. And I don't fit it, I said. She returned the smile politely. No. That word landed softly, but it carried weight. I turned my attention back to the check. A clean number. A clean exit. No arguments. No complications. Just money. Take it, my brother said again, quieter now. It's better this way. Better for who? I didn't ask, because I already knew. I placed the check back inside the envelope, then set it gently on the table. You planned this, I said. My brother exhaled slowly. We talked about it, he admitted. That was enough. I nodded once. Not angry. Not surprised. Just clear. Because in that moment, something shifted. They thought they were ending something small. Something insignificant. But what they didn't realize was this. They were negotiating with someone who didn't need anything from them. And that changes everything. I slid the envelope back across the table, right to where it came from. I'm not interested, I said calmly. The reaction was immediate. Confusion first. Then irritation. My brother's father-in-law frowned slightly. You may want to reconsider, he said. That's a generous amount. I'm sure it is, I replied. But I don't need it. That shifted something. His mother-in-law's polite smile tightened. Everyone needs something, she said. Not everyone. I looked at my brother. He still wouldn't meet my eyes. You told them I'd take it, I said quietly. He exhaled sharply. I told them you'd understand, he corrected. Understand. That word felt almost insulting. I do understand, I said. Silence. I understand that you think I'm a problem, I continued. I understand that you believe money can fix it. I paused, then added calmly. And I understand that you don't know who I am. That caught their attention. All three of them looked at me now. Really looked. For the first time that night. The father-in-law leaned forward slightly. And who exactly are you? He asked. I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I reached into my bag and placed something on the table. A simple black card. No design. Just a name. The company's name. And one title beneath it. CO. 2 minutes later, everything changed. For a moment, no one moved. The card sat between us like it didn't belong to this table. My brother noticed it first. He leaned forward slightly, eyes narrowing. Then he froze. Because he recognized the name. The company. The one printed at the top of every report he'd ever submitted. The one whose logo sat on every email he sent. Slowly, he picked up the card. Read it again. Then looked at me. Lena? He said, his voice no longer steady. I held his gaze. Yes. His father-in-law reached for the card next. His expression shifted as he read. From confidence to confusion to something much closer to concern. That's not possible, he said quietly. It is, I replied. Silence settled heavily over the table. My brother leaned back in his chair like the ground had shifted beneath him. You're the CEO? He asked. I have been for 3 years. 3 years. The same 3 years he had worked there. The same 3 years he had complained about management decisions, office politics, and leadership. To me. Without ever knowing. His mother-in-law's voice came out tighter now. You're saying you own the company he works for? I nodded once. Yes. The room felt smaller, colder, because suddenly, this wasn't a dinner anymore. It was a power shift. No one touched the food anymore. The table that once felt controlled now felt unstable. My brother stared at me like he was trying to rewrite the last 3 years in his head. You never told me, he said. I tilted my head slightly. You never asked. That landed harder than anything else. His father-in-law cleared his throat, trying to regain control. Well, he said carefully, this changes things. Does it? I looked at him calmly. Does it? I asked. He hesitated, because the answer wasn't simple anymore. A few minutes ago, I was someone to remove. Now, I was someone they couldn't. My brother leaned forward, voice lower now. Lena, why didn't you say anything? Because I wanted to see how you treated me without it, I replied. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. My sister-in-law, quiet until now, finally spoke. You set this up, she said slowly. I shook my head. No, I said. You did. I glanced at the envelope still sitting in front of them. You decided who I was before you knew anything. No one argued. Because they couldn't. The father-in-law exhaled slowly. This was a misunderstanding, he said. I almost smiled. No, I replied calmly. This was clarity. And clarity has consequences. My brother finally found his voice again. You're not seriously going to hold this against us, he said carefully. Us. I noticed that. He had already grouped himself with them. I leaned back slightly in my chair. What exactly do you think I'm holding? I asked. He hesitated. The dinner, he said. The envelope. The envelope. I looked at it again. Still sitting there. Still untouched. You try to pay me to disappear, I said calmly. His mother-in-law shifted uncomfortably. That was before we knew. I raised my hand slightly. That's exactly the point. Silence. My brother ran a hand through his hair. Lena, I didn't think it would go like this, he admitted. How did you think it would go? I asked. No answer. Because the truth was simple. He thought I would take the money and leave. Quietly. I stood up slowly. The movement made all three of them look at me. I'm not angry, I said. That surprised them. I'm not hurt either. That confused them, because they expected emotion. Instead, I gave them something else. Distance. I just see things clearly now. I continued. I looked at my brother one last time. The next time you sit in a meeting and wonder why decisions are made the way they are. I paused. You'll remember this table. And you'll understand something you didn't before. Respect isn't requested. It's revealed. No one tried to stop me as I stepped away from the table. That was the part that said everything. A few minutes ago, they had all been confident, in control, certain of how the night would end. Now, they just watched. My brother stood up halfway, like he wanted to say something. Lena, wait. I paused. But I didn't turn around. What? I asked. His voice came out quieter this time. I didn't know, he said. I closed my eyes for a brief second. I know, I replied. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that he didn't need to know. He had already decided. I turned slightly, just enough to meet his eyes. You showed me exactly how you treat people you think are beneath you, I said calmly. He didn't argue, because he couldn't. His father-in-law shifted in his seat, trying to recover some dignity. We can move past this, he said carefully. I shook my head once. No, I replied. You can learn from it. Silence settled again. Final. I walked toward the exit without another word. Behind me, the envelope still sat on the table, untouched, exactly where it belonged. Because some offers don't insult your worth. They reveal theirs.